I mentioned when I arrived that I was just, having dinner with Peter Fischley in Zurich, and he at dinner was describing a story that you wrote or an essay, and he described really the narrative, and I haven't read it, so I need to do that. But he said it was, about an artist, and then maybe it was you, but maybe it wasn't you. And...
Oh, it was this novel.
Okay. So can you talk a little bit about that?
About that book?
Yeah.
Fuck Seth Price.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it's called. I'm like, should I say it? What could I tell you about it?
I mean, I guess I'm interested in asking you what the narrative is, since I just heard Peter kind of describe what he thought the narrative was.
Yeah, it's like about, let's see, in 2013 or something, I wanted to write something in a more serious, focused way. I've written essays over the years, but it's really hard to clear that space and time again to do something in a focused way. I mean, it felt like I'm going to take off a year basically to learn a new skill. Right?
Is that what you did?
Yeah. I like let go the person who's working for me and said no to a whole bunch of exhibitions and just was kind of reporting for duty to like a room to try to sit down and write something, reading a lot of fiction. Got into autofiction as it was, being called. Anyway, at the end of the year, I had this book. So but it's fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happens in it?
Oh man, I don't know. You'll have to read it. It starts with a painter having some issues. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's not a really good narrative. Like honestly, it's.
Well, so the way Peter described it, it ends in a way where, the way Peter describes it, I have been thinking a lot about Joseph Campbell and the hero's journey, and how most, pretty much all Hollywood films, and most all of Western mythology, is kind of the same story, where you head out into the wilderness, however you define that, right, in search of something. And then there's, your burning of the boats moment, right, where you say no to...
The burning of the boats moment?
The burning of the boats moment, yeah. So, where you basically, like, deny wherever you were before and
like kick down the ladder kind of thing?
And just, I could tell you, like, my story, right, using the hero's journey. And my burning of the boats moment was, when I was in college and told my parents I wasn't going to law school. And that I was going to try and pursue a moment of art. And, and then, you head off and you're the furthest away from home, and they're adversaries and then they're guides, and then you get this knowledge and then you return home a changed person and hopefully you share it. So I've been thinking a lot about that as it applies to my life and everyone else's, lives. But some people are more aware of it, some people are less. But as he was describing the narrative of your story at the end, or the narrative of your novel, at the end, what he said is that basically the character, the protagonist, comes back around to, there being nothing left to do but look at the paintings. But that was a good thing. And so I was curious about that.
That's how Peter interpreted it, huh?
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Okay, Peter.
Yeah.